forget about it. It's just, and that's, it's the good police officers. But unfortunately, just as was the case with priests, the good priests needed to speak up about the bad priests when they knew about them, and they did not. And the same thing has to happen in the police department. The good police have to speak up about the bad police, and you got to get rid of them, period. You can't have bad police around because it ruins it for all the police. Sad. I mean, there are good and bad talk show hosts and good and bad people for society. I wouldn't have wanted to have been judged by Howard Stern. He went around and made hundreds of millions of dollars being foul and really disturbing society and opening the door for a lot of very negative things in our country. Would have liked to have made his money. Was given the chance to be, as the consultant said, "Can you be like Howard Stern?" I said, "What do you mean? Can you push it to the limits and
push it to the limit?
Put our license in jeopardy, but not really over the line, so we don't lose our license?" I said, "Yeah, I could do that, but I don't want to do that. It's not what I want to do."
Howard always took the you've got the people that liked Howard and the people that didn't like Howard, but the people that didn't like him still listened. So that was like a big thing.
Oh yeah, that's it. And they didn't admit they listened. It all happened through cab drivers,
but
who he loved putting down, and they still didn't get it.
Pretty talented guy, though. His shows, the way that he does his show now, we can do his long form interviews is pretty. He does a pretty good job.
He does a very good job. He has all kinds of time, no constraints at all.
Right. Plus
on and on. It's like one of the first. It's like a podcast now that without any interruptions, without any service features or commercials or anything. I mean, he can go on and on and on with his interviews, and of course, he can get anybody now. Anyone who's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. He gets A-list celebrities now too. So that's changed his whole thing.
Yeah.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you, middle of the week, or as some might say, Dana.
It's hump day.
Oh, it sure is. On this Wednesday, September 9th, the 263rd day of 2020 with 113 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And the team, though we may not love getting up early, are happy to be up early on this Wednesday morning to be with you, both online, on social media for the first 45 minutes of the show, and, of course, always on 760 on the AM dial. So if you do follow us these first 45 minutes and you're still home, you can flip on the computer and see our sorry faces. Be more than happy to have you join us like this and people weigh in and with the comments and the good mornings and all of that sort of stuff. And then, of course, don't forget to keep us on when you get out to the car on 760 on the AM dial or in the house as well. The team is here. Dick Hafner is having the same kind of technical issues he had yesterday. So trust me when I tell you, he is here behind the black screen with the little button logo of WJR. Speak to us, Dick, so we know you're...
That's me. That's me right there.
There's the magic voice of Dick Hafner. Dana Clark is here with her smiling face and her hump day. She's here for traffic, weather, and an opinion or two. Dana, always a pleasure having you with us. Brian Morton is back in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Buildings, where he's also joined by Dave Kingpin Rieger, who is in for Ann Thomas, who's got wedding duties. You know, she's gone through the same thing that every mother of the groom, in this case, or mother of the bride, or the bride and groom have gone through. They've had all these long-term plans for a wedding, and that's all been shut down by what we currently are going through. So they'll have a small little family wedding with plans to have a party later with the rest of the people that would have been. We would have been at the wedding. I think we all would have tried to have been there. Meanwhile, Kim is here, up and at 'em. She was up at least 2 hours before I got up, which is crazy. Are we already going to? I guess we're already going to traffic, and let's take care of that here at 5:43 on WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first, and Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic First, also sponsored by Operating Engineers 324. Operating Engineers 324 run the heavy equipment that's building Michigan's roads. Remember to slow down, pay attention in work zones. For the workers' safety and yours, OE 324, we build, we operate, we maintain. Visit OE324.org. Earlier accident along 75 southbound at Grange Hall Road is clear, but now we have a new collision along the Lodge southbound at Livernois. It is blocking your right 2 lanes. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey's newly remodeled restaurant is now open for carryout, and their dining room is open for dinner only Friday through Sunday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Enjoy great food, drinks, and laughs. Then visit their ice cream parlor and store for Guernsey's award-winning ice cream, milk, and lemonade. For more info, visit GuernseyFarmsDairy.com.
Not a bunch in the way of sunshine as we move through today, but not a bunch of rainfall either. So I guess that's a good thing after record rain for the day yesterday. We'll continue to roll with just a few showers. Most of the rain showers this morning are off to our north. This afternoon, slight chance of a shower, 75. Partial clouds tonight, 61. 50s out in the suburbs Thursday. Quite a few clouds around, 69. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stageaccount, News Talk 760 WJR.
And we're talking 59 degrees. Good sleeping weather with the windows open, that's for sure. At 5:45, 15 minutes away from 6 o'clock on this Wednesday, September 9th. My sweet sister Allison Avant's birthday is today. Her husband's birthday was yesterday, which we announced, Dan, and now Allison today. That's very convenient to have the birthday back to back like that, I think.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rush Limbaugh, generally with us from noon to 3 while he continues his gallant fight against lung cancer, is in and out a little bit during treatments. As he put it, he had some good days, he had some bad days, which a lot of people can relate to. Meanwhile, he stops in, checks in with us first thing in the morning. Rush?
Not very long ago, the story you're about to hear would have been shocking. Today, it's routine. The story starts July 12th. 20-year-old Alejandro Maldonado Hernandez was arrested after a street race crash that killed an Oregon woman and severely injured her husband. Mr. Maldonado Hernandez was jailed on charges of felony manslaughter in the 2nd degree, felony assault in the 3rd degree, misdemeanor reckless driving added on. Alejandro Maldonado Hernandez is an illegal immigrant. On July 16th, United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement issued a detainer at the Washington County Jail in Oregon so that if Maldonado Hernandez was granted bail, he would immediately be taken into federal custody. On August 8th, Mr. Hernandez was granted bail, but the detainer issued by ICE was ignored. The Washington County Sheriff's Department says that federal ICE detainers are not lawful or enforceable in Oregon. So this past Tuesday, ICE announced that investigators have learned that Alejandro Maldonado Hernandez fled to Mexico to avoid prosecution, meaning that the felony manslaughter, assault, and reckless driving charges lodged against him are now unenforceable. Liberals in Washington County, Oregon, have got to be very pleased. They have raised the middle finger at their enemies, the American people, who want immigration law enforced. Death and injury of American citizens, basically meaningless in liberals' worlds.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR. Nice to have Ron and Patrick and Clay and Bob and Mike and Don and Ann and David, Paul, Maria, all the folks tuned in from drive time to FaceTime. Well put, Paul Scott. and it is Wine Wednesday, saved by the bell and by Kim, who grabbed a bottle of wine. I brought today the 7 deadly Zins.
Zinfandel.
Yeah. Yep. Let me just read what it says here. They now also have a Cabernet that is out, but the Zin is where they kind of started. Released in 2002, 7 Deadly was born from a Catholic school upbringing and a winemaker's lust for hedonistically seductive wine.
Oh, ooh!
And for a suggested retail price of $16, it's a pretty good bottle of wine. 7 Deadly is the maker. 7 Deadly, and this is the Zinfandel. 7 Deadly Zins, Lodi Old Vine Zinfandel. Dana, you brought a little wine along.
I have a bottle of wine. It is a hot and ready special, meaning it's $5. Okay,
$5.
$5.
We got a $5 wine.
It's from Bush's, actually. CK Mondavi, I believe that's how you say.
Mondavi.
Mondavi, yes, that's better.
The Mondavi family is a very famous winemaking family. I had the pleasure of meeting the senior, Mr. Mondavi, many, many years ago in Napa Valley.
Oh, well, cool.
And it was a premium wine family.
Yes.
That the family got bigger and bigger, and more people needed to make money.
Okay.
And so they took what was a high-end wine and said, we're going to sell a lot more if we start offering cheap wines. Which
it's good.
Pretty much gave them a hard time with the people who were buying their wines.
Oh.
And so the kids did their thing, and then Dad stepped back in and tried to bring the label back up, meaning more expensive. I don't know how it all turned out, but you like this wine a lot.
I like it. They have this is Chardonnay, but they have Merlot, they have Cab, Zinfandel, they have all, different wines under the sun, and it's $5, and it's at Bush's. $5.
That's amazing.
It's good. So there you go.
And CK must be another Mondavi, and he or she had to put their name on it to make it theirs. You see, it said CK Mondavi.
Yes.
Never seen that before.
It says and family.
Oh, it says CK Mondavi and family.
And family. And family at the bottom. So who knows?
$5.
Yeah, but it's really good. Bush's.
Along with
You're hearing the Paul W.
$5
Smith Show.
long.
News Talk 760 WJR.
Yes.
5:50, 10 minutes away from 6 o'clock. And the team is here on this Wednesday morning. It rained again when I noticed when I went out and got the newspaper, thanks to the newspaper deliverers. Still, we don't have it right. I still get two Sunday papers from the Detroit newspaper company. We'll figure this out eventually because I have to, because I'm paying for all of it. And it's just like crazy to have multiple copies, unless I set up a newspaper stand in front of the house. But I don't think the neighbors would like that. Hey, Mr. Hafner, behind the black wall. This has got to be driving Democrats and others crazy as they wake up and think that they're hearing a joke. But the fact of the matter is, President Donald Trump has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
I'm sure that there's be screams heard across the nation. But was it a Norwegian politician? Who was it that nominated him?
I believe so. One of the Norwegians, and he cited President Trump's and the Trump administration's major role in Middle East peace talks, saying that this particular development, where the United Arab Emirates have agreed to set up diplomatic relations with Israel, was one of the best steps in Middle East peace ever. And so they cited him for that. And also, there's a couple of other Muslim majority countries which have warmed up to that idea. And this man who nominated him said he deserves the Nobel Prize. So it'll be the Nobel Prize for next year. We won't know about it until way after the election.
Oh, all right. So he could make it as president or as former president. Yeah. Hey, I like Ed Sheeran. You guys like Ed Sheeran? I think he's a great singer, does a nice job. And his story is really something, from what I understand, that he kind of started out on social media, I think, promoting himself through songs and things, and that grew, and a record label said, well, this guy's good, and signed him up. Kind of either the backward or the newest way to become a star or celebrity. We've seen, let's face it, if you watch TikTok or any of these other things, you see a lot of very talented people. I didn't happen to see Ed Sheeran when he was doing all of this online, but certainly have followed him ever since. And I thought he was a relatively, normal guy, as showbiz people go. And then I found out what he and his wife, Cherry, named their little girl.
Oh, boy. What is it?
Lyra, Antarctica, Seaborn, Sheeran.
Okay. That's the wildest one yet.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was trying to think of if they were on a seaborne cruise in the Antarctica when she was conceived.
Could be. That makes sense.
I don't know.
That
But I
makes all-
cannot figure that name out at all. As Kim said, Lyra is like lyrical, or like a note, or it could be money. Lyra.
Can't spend any lira on Antarctica. I know that. They don't accept it.
Your
there.
Lyra is no good here.
Penguins
Your
don't
Lyra is
accept
no
it.
good here.
No.
Oh yeah, we saw him. She reminding me now with this quick note. We saw him at the Palace when he opened for Taylor Swift.
Oh, bet that was a good show.
Yeah. Well, you got two great shows in one. When the person who's opening is usually the second kind of act, second level, and he was on his way up to being his own first level. So that was, thanks for the reminder, honey. I did not remember that. But Lyra, Antarctica, Seaborn, Sheeran. You can name your child, obviously. anything you want to.
Ooh.
Pretty clear.
Isn't there a seaborne cruise ship line?
Yeah. That's why I say they might have been on a seaborne cruise to Antarctica. I don't know. The seaborne in the name, if it's spelled correctly on this story, is not spelled exactly the same way as the ship line. But by the way, seaborne is an excellent premium premier cruise line. We've heard stories about people jumping out of planes at certain ages, most notably President H.W. Bush. Remember, I think he jumped out at 90.
Yep.
Something like that, jumped out of a plane. Well, what about the other end of the spectrum? A world record was broken just over the state's line. Bill Lambert, at 100, went scuba diving at Pearl Lake in South Beloit, Illinois. He became the oldest scuba diver in the world. It was only a matter of time, I guess. You know what I mean? You had the guys who were up in the plane dropping out at a age. So somebody else said, what about going underwater?
Absolutely. That's amazing.
At 100, he was scuba diving. He broke the record. The world record was in Mexico. Oh, no, he originally broke the world record in Mexico when he was 98. And his family traveled from the East Coast to see him break the record. They say the past couple of years have been a wild ride. Oh, good for him. 100. Going down. It is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it. Our WJR traffic and weather first. And Dana Clark.
Well, now, Paul W., we are accident-free out there. Lodge southbound at Livernois. Earlier accident is clear. Let's take a peek at construction. Yep, still there in Berkeley along 12 Mile, both directions between Greenfield and Coolidge. That road reduced to just one lane. That's scheduled through the end of this month. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide Pre-screen quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com. It's a cool start this morning. Definitely need a light jacket, especially if the kids are heading out to the bus stops, the ones that are actually going to school. It feels like fall outside this morning. Next chance of rain will be on Saturday. Cooler for the remainder of the week as well. We'll see clouds, a very slight chance of rain. A high of 72 tonight, partly cloudy, or low 60 on Thursday, cloudy and 69. And Friday, sunshine, a few clouds, and a high of 70. Fog, 61 degrees in Detroit. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
I'm looking at the headlines here. Detroit priest sues priest in abuse case. I don't even want to go in there. Trump-Biden charge into final stretch. Did I hear Dick say that Biden's in town today?
Yes.
And they finally said where he's going to be in Warren, I guess?
In Warren.
Yeah. We do the usual. We put out the call to try to have these guys on our show. I don't expect either one of them to come on board, and I'm not working that hard on it anyway.
We did get a response from Trump's people that they said that they got the request and that they would push it to the right person, and that if we wanted to speak to anybody else in the organization, to let them know.
Yeah, they've given us 100 different people.
Yeah, have not heard back from Biden people yet. But since I was not informed of Wine Wednesday, here's a picture of my brother and I in Napa doing a wine tasting at a place called Artesia or something.
Oh,
maybe Paul can tell us what the name of that is.
Yeah,
Artesa.
It's Artesa.
And that's where yes.
That's a pretty high-end wine.
So that was back in 2012. So.
2012.
Nice.
Was that could you go there and taste wine for free?
We ran into this guy who had a coupon. It was like a buy one get one free. He had a bunch of them.
Get one bottle free.
Yeah. So by the time that the wine tasting was done, this was me.
This is you. Wait. Oh Lord. You look a little saucy there.
He looks very, very mellow there. Yeah, that was 2012, huh?
Yeah, that was 2012. Yes.
You look like you're 15 there.
Yeah. Kim, did you guys have to pay when you went around Napa Valley and did wine tastings? Because this was most recently.
Schramsberg, absolutely.
Schramsberg, they paid. They took advantage of the whole tour of the whole place.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I was no good on those kinds of tours. I'd say, could you just open the wine?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care about it.
Yeah, beautiful place here. Can I have some wine?
And while Ed Sheeran's baby name was interesting, I don't think it can beat Nick Cage's son's name.
What's his name?
Which, as you know, is Kyle Coppola Cage.
Say what?
I did not know that.
Yes, and you know why his son
is lived my whole life without knowing that.
Well, you know who Kyle is, correct?
No.
Kal-El is Superman's Kryptonian name, and Nick Cage is a big fan of Superman, so he named his son Kal-El.
How do you spell that?
It's Kal-El.
The teachers are going to mess up his name for his life.
Do that to a kid for the rest of his life.
And Nick Cage's real last name is Coppola, so it was Kyle Coppola Cage.
Coppola, like Francis Ford Coppola,
correct.
The family.
Yes, correct.
It is a talented, troubled family.
Yes, but the big news I think today is that Colin Kaepernick has been added to the new Madden game this year as a free agent.
Yes, that's good.
That's great. He doesn't play.
That's
big.
News.
He kneels, and good for him. I'm just assuming that's what his role is.
No. He's a free agent.
Yeah,
he plays. Play. You can draft him as part of your team, and he can be your quarterback. And he has a better rating than Cam Newton, the starting quarterback of the Patriots.
So there.
He needs to play one way or the other, huh?
Yeah.
So while no real NFL team will draft him, EA Sports put him into the new Madden game.
So this happens to me. Maybe it happens to you. You think about doing something. Unfortunately, most notably, it's oftentimes, I haven't talked to so-and-so. I got to call them. Mm-hmm. And then you don't call them, and the next thing you know, they have passed. Well, it also happens in other areas of my life. And that is this. I said yesterday, if not the day before, but at least yesterday. I got to check in to that 529 plan I bought when Sophie was born and lock in and make the money safe because she goes to college next year. And so I don't want to be at the whims of the stock market. I got to call them. And I put the paper right on the corner of my desk right here. And I never called yesterday to say, let's move this into, I don't know what you move it into, something safe, money markets. I don't care, but something that wouldn't be at the whim of the stock market. I didn't get it done yesterday. And here's the headline. Tech stocks continue biggest sell-off in months. What Kramer and others see ahead. So I didn't do what I said I was going to do, and the market crashes. So I haven't looked to see how it's affected her 529 or whatever it's called account, but it's affected it. There's got to be something there. When you think about something and you think about doing it, it's got to be done. Otherwise, you have moments like this, or worse, with somebody that you want to check in on and you don't. So all these life lessons to be learned. I do have some bad news. I don't think this is going to hit any of us or our listeners or viewers very hard. But unfortunately, this is what they say. You won't be able to keep up with the Kardashians on TV much longer. Keeping Up with the Kardashians coming to an end on E.
What a run.
How much do those people make from that? I know they make a lot of money from a lot of stuff just by being a Kardashian and all the clothing lines and makeup lines and cocaine lines that they've had. I just wonder how wealthy this has made them. It's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, I guess.
Feel bad for the executive producer of the show?
I feel bad for anybody else who's made money off this.
Do you know who that is? Do you know who
not. Is it? It's Ryan Seacrest. Yes. Talk about a little powerhouse, man. His idol was Dick Clark, and he, I think, has probably already well surpassed Dick Clark's success in terms of monetary terms, in terms of money. Because he has his hands in a lot of different things. But I'll never forget, Kim and I were traveling for something, and we were out of the country, and we were talking to a young man that we met, and we said, have you ever been to America? And he says, no, I have not. No. And we said, do you know much about America? Oh, I know everything about America. Really? How so? I watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I kind of just stopped and said, oh, my God, you don't know anything about America if you've been watching the Kardashians. Oh, so I think it's just as well. As you say, it's been a good long run. Dana, how long a run?
I think like 20 seasons.
No way. Yeah, premiered in
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It's the 9th of September, the 253rd day of 2020. There are 113 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And around here, it's not just Wednesday, Dana.
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Yes, indeed it is. It is hump day and the end of the Kardashians. Coming to an end on E. You will no longer be able to keep up with the Kardashians, which some people have been doing since 2007. Those who did not go completely crazy after watching them for even a season. Now, a lot of times when these shows go off where they started, somebody else buys them, picks them up, and tries to make money off them that they didn't get to make. I would think this one's a tough one because the one or two times that I've walked through a room and seen a piece of the Kardashian show, it looked very expensive because everything they did, I presume, was paid for by the show. All of their content appeared to be expensive, going to events, having parties, doing whatever. And I presume that was all one of the business expenses. So I don't know if anyone wants to try to keep up with the Kardashian expenses.
No.
They're just probably making.
I admire the Kardashians. They have accomplished so much. That they have accomplished more with less talent than anyone, I think, in history.
Well, I think you're right, except for Paris Hilton, for example. But even Paris Hilton is now out. I don't know if you guys have seen this, saying that was a character she was playing, and that wasn't really her at all. And she wants us to believe now, she's like 39, and she wants us to believe that she was kind of caught up. It almost sounded like she was in a cult that made her be as stupid as she appeared to be, and she wasn't really stupid. I'm not convinced that is correct. I don't know. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, you're right. Never has one family accomplished so much with so little ability, talent, and ability.
Right.
And yet, because of social media and television, they were able to become extremely wealthy.
They were smart enough. Yeah. The Osborne family. The Osbornes are.
But Ozzy had
Ozzy is talented.
Ozzy had a talent and an ability.
Black Sabbath, all of his rock. He's still a funny guy, but the rest of his family, absolutely no talent or ability, and they're stars. So,
speaking of
Terry Bradshaw, his family has a new TV show coming on E! though. So that may be why the Kardashians are leaving.
Terry Bradshaw, boy,
yeah.
This day in 1956, a young man who apparently had a tremendous amount of talent at just the right time, Elvis Presley, made the first of 3 appearances on the Ed Sullivan Show on this day in 1956. On September 9th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress made the term United States official, replacing United Colonies. And this is right up Mr. Hafner's alley, because here we go again. The American Academy of Sleep and Medicine calls for the elimination of daylight saving time, citing health risks. Dick Hafner has been on this campaign for as long as I can remember, Dick. And now we have all of the proof from a medical standpoint that we need to eliminate daylight saving time.
Well, I don't know what else we can do.
I don't know what else we can do either. Why do we keep talking
about it? Fallen behind my leadership here.
Well, you with your daylight savings time, me with my masks for the pandemic. We're ahead of the curve, and why don't they just listen to us and move on? What do we have to do to get rid of this thing that they now have specific proof that it is not good for us to keep switching these like time zones?
Well, here's what we need. We need political office holders to finally line up. I remember you last year asking Governor Whitmer about this. You asked her if she thinks Michigan should drop out of daylight saving time, and she wouldn't give it. She was non-committal. So we need.
She thought I had asked about COVID.
You did ask her about it.
No kidding.
Why does Dick hate daylight savings time?
Oh boy, do you love
all
it?
The reasons that the doctors will say in their report?
Here's what they show. Among other things, along with other bad stuff,
there's one other thing that they don't have. But go ahead.
Increased traffic fatalities, as much as a 6% gain. Within the first few days following the change to daylight saving time. There's the ample evidence of negative short-term consequences of the annual change to daylight saving time in the spring, because the adoption of permanent standard time would be beneficial for public health and safety. And the standard time more closely aligns with the daily rhythms of the body's internal clock.
That's a most important reason. In other words, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. But there's one other, and there's one other thing in Michigan, as I pointed out again.
Yeah.
Again, we are at the western end of the Eastern time zone. we already get our own daylight saving time effect by our geographical position in the Eastern time zone. So when we sign on to DST, we're getting this artificial extra hour. I mean, some people love it, I know that, but we're already getting more sunshine, more daylight than virtually anybody else in our time zone. We don't need it here.
As someone who likes to play golf, we like that extra hour to play longer at night, though.
I know there are. Yes, I know that there are.
Could it be the golfers?
Like
could it be the golfers that have caused this to go on?
Maybe
golfers.
Selfish reasons.
Golf is a large economic driver. Yeah, the golfers have more power than virtually anybody else in sports except football.
I would agree with that.
Wow, on that happy note.
The golf industry is big and very influential.
Yeah. It is 6:13 at 6:13 at WJR. Here.
This report is sponsored by Fresh Time Market.
It's no surprise that healthy living begins with what we eat. Stop by Fresh Time Market for large red, green, or black seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound. Now through September 15th, you can trust Fresh Time to bring you real food at real affordable prices.
This would have been Colonel Harlan Sanders' birthday.
Oh.
He was born in 1890. This is a picture of Colonel Sanders with young radio personality Paul W. Smith. I can't tell if I'm on camera with this or not right now.
You are.
It's blocking my view.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? That's the real Colonel Sanders with the surreal Paul W. Smith.
Cool.
Thank you, Kim, for finding that very quickly. I thought of that last night when I read it was going to be his birthday, but there it is. A little of our history together here as we check our WJR traffic and weather first. And Dana Clark.
Well, Paul W., right now, accident-free on the roadways. Let's look at construction in Royal Oak, 14-mile, both directions, eastbound and westbound between Greenfield and Crooks. The road reduced there in Royal Oak to just one lane that's scheduled through November. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com.
Took a pretty good shot yesterday. Record rain for the date, 1.58 inches, 67 degrees the daytime high, and that happened at 1:30 in the morning. Now a little bit better as we go through the next couple of days. A lot of cloud in this morning and this afternoon. Just a passing shower, 275. Then we'll break up the cloud party tonight. 61, 50 suburbs. Considerably cloudy tomorrow. Cool 69. From a Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajik on News Talk 760 WJR.
This is a special end of summer announcement from Dell. At our Labor Day sale, small